Welcome, this is Zon with Revu Products. Today's video is on Bluebeam Review 2018 and how to work with hyperlinks. Here I have Bluebeam Review 2018 open. We have a cover sheet over here, and on this cover sheet there is a sheet list. I'd like to be able to create hyperlinks for each one of these sheet numbers so that they jump to each of the pages as well as wherever else they are annotated. For example, if I jump to a different page, you can see how we have some of these annotation symbols that represent views or section markers or details that go to a specific view on a specific page. How do we approach creating all of these links either individually or as a batch process? Most people will try to do it as a batch process, so that's fast and easy. So let's do it this way. Because I'm running Bluebeam Review Extreme, I have the ability to do the batch function. If you don't have Extreme and you have Standard or CAD, you'll have to do the hyperlinking individually. So I'll head over to the batch tool and head over to Link and click New. And in this window, I can specify the file that I want to work with. So I'm going to add this open file. I'll click Next. And then I can specify the area that the software needs to look at to figure out what that data is, so it's consistent across all of the sheets. When I'm finished, I click OK. And then if I need to, I can go into the settings to specify if I need to set up any kind of filtering rules, like any first or last from a hyphen or a dash or something like that. I can click Generate, and it will go through the PDF file and find everything that it can, and it will give you all the possible links that it's about to create. If I need to, I can go to the link options and specify things like including the appearance properties and specifying whatever color that you want, whether it's a solid, a dashed line, underline, a fill, or a highlight. Click OK. And when you're finished, click Run. You can also, by the way, import or export the batch process too, so you can save it for future use. Once I click Run, it'll go through the entire document and it will create as many links as it can, and it will tell you how many it created. I'll click Finish and Close, and then I can look at the PDF file. Now you can see over here all of them are marked in red, so if I click this little red box where it says A202, it should jump to that page, A202, which it does. It just takes a second to process because I actually have a lot of data in each of the views. And as you can see here, the sheet shows up. Now let's jump back over to A103. What if you want to create a link for a specific view on a sheet of paper? For example, here it says 5 on sheet A301. How do I create that link? I can click the command up here for Hyperlink. I can go over to Tools, I can go to Hyperlink as well, and the cursor will change from a white arrowhead to crosshair, and in the lower left corner it says Select Region to place Hyperlink. So I am going to highlight number 5 like so. Once I finish highlighting it, the action window will show up. In here I can tell it to do different things. I can tell it to jump to this particular PDF file to a particular page on the PDF file, or if I have other files open, I can force it to go to different files. I can tell it to go to a place. A place in Bluebeam Review is an area that you create with just a name designation. Maybe, for example, the public restroom. A space, you can tell it to hyperlink to a space object in Revit. That's an area that you designate that is, say, for example, a conference room. And in this particular space object, it will track and it will also help you filter and sort all the markups that are in that space. In our instance, for number 5, A301, we want to do a snapshot view and tell it to go look at this rectangular region that we specify on A301. So I'm going to open up A301, zoom out a little bit, and look for number 5, which is down here. And I'll create a rectangular region like so. That way that link knows to jump to that rectangular region. I can also tell it to go to a hyperlink or open up files and folders, which I'll show you in a second. So let's click OK. and the hyperlink is created. Now, if we head back to A103, and we go back to that section that has the number 5, you can see that it's highlighted. If I now get out of the hyperlink command, you'll see it's not showing up, it's invisible. So when you're creating the hyperlinks by default this way, it looks like nothing really happened, but it's actually there because your mouse will change from a black arrowhead to a hand with a finger. Okay, if I right click, don't left click, if I right click, I can actually select that particular markup. I can go to properties, and I can see that it's the hyperlink property, and I can tell the software to make it visible so I can see it. And if necessary, I can change things like this, right? And it could be a fill, see? And so now it is visible and it's a different color, and it's just easier to see. If I left click it, it should jump me directly to that view on that page, and it does so. Now let's take a quick look at the hyperlinking if you want to hyperlink to a website or to a file or a folder. So let's say we head over to a different sheet like this one, and we'll zoom in, and we'll just use this as an example. Maybe this is some kind of piece of furniture that you want to hyperlink to a website. To do that, just click hyperlink again, and this time you're not selecting a piece of text. You're creating a rectangular region that people can put their cursor in to act as the hyperlinking space. And so I can go over here and I can click hyperlink and tell it to go to a specific website. So let's head over to Internet Explorer or Microsoft Edge, and we'll put in here some kind of decorative bamboo plants, something like that. And we'll just find something. Let's see. Let's pick this one just for fun. And let's just say hypothetically it has to go to here, to this website. I can select the site, copy it to my temporary memory, head back over here to hyperlink, and paste it. Right click paste and hit OK. Now that I've created it, it's still in the hyperlink command because your cursor still shows a crosshair because it assumes you want to keep doing it. So I'm going to click this little white arrow here to finish my selection and finish my command. And if I click that region now, it should open up a web tab to that exact location. So that's how you create a hyperlink that goes to a site. Lastly, maybe we want to hyperlink it to a specific file or a folder. So let's pan out a little bit. And we'll do a hyperlink of, say, this symbol here that goes to a file. Hyperlink, draw the rectangular region, say for example this, and tell it to go open. In this case, I can either choose a file or a folder. If you choose a file, it will go find the file, it will figure out what the file type is, and it will try to open it based upon what applications you have on your workstation. If you click Open Folder, it will open up Windows Explorer to that subfolder location. So let's do Open File and tell it to go open up a file. So in this case, I'll tell it to open up this picture and hit OK. So now that I'm finished, if I click the link, it should automatically open up that image. Okay. If I want to, I can right-click that hyperlink. Let's go back to Edit Action, and let's change it. Instead of opening a file, let's have it open a folder. And I'll tell it to open up the Pictures folder to this Autodesk Expert Elite folder. Click OK. Now that I'm done, if I click the link, it should open up Windows Explorer directly to that folder. See? So that's how hyperlinking works in Bluebeam Revu 2018. Thank you very much for watching.